So here I've got all the copper. I've also got a length of conduit for when I go through the wall. Wall here is all the copper. So I'll show you. I'm going to drill through the wall first. That wall there. You'll go in and bam. 222 is coming out from the boiler. 15's for the water. That's just what you wanted. So that's just what I'm going to do. Yeah, I've got a drill bit. 25 conduit as well. Let's get this done. Praying this doesn't fall right now. Don't worry. Just what I'm doing on the surface. Should be alright. Shouldn't really do it this way, by the way. But that top one's soldered, so. Switch is just in that down there. There's solder sign. First one video on nothing else of it, but hopefully you learnt something new there. I ran out of flux, I ran out of solder through, so I had to grab the new reel. But I left some splodges on here of the solder, so when I reheated it and applied the flux, it ran around. I've just got the pipe clamps that's moving over, but it's soldered. It is soldered all the way, and I can tell you now that won't leak. And that is what happened. So hopefully I'll taught you something new there. So, as I was saying, I don't really, shouldn't really solder. I'm gonna try. Know if I'm gonna do any filming tomorrow, because I need to insulate all the ceiling, and to me that's a very boring job to be insulating all the ceiling with that sort of shit, because I hate that stuff, you know. This bathroom is going to annoy me a little bit insulating it. It's the last part to insulate. I do have all the door and windows to fasten on as well. I'll put all the glass in, so I'll be doing that on Thursday. Friday should be plasterboarding. Saturday should be plasterboarding. And then, as I said, when you see this video, it would have already been all boarded and plastered in the plastering stage. I'm doing the manhole outside. So if you want to see them sort of videos, just let me know. There's definitely something happened. And I don't try and do a lot. I can't do a lot of filming as well when I'm behind on stuff. But this is going to go on there now. Sorry about the filming, it wasn't the best. I'll see if we can get some better footage when I solder that one on there. What I'm doing is I'm using this 150 level center. For now, I've put it in line. Let's try. I think I want 120 because the ceiling height goes long, and it's just gonna fit. I think. It can go to the side. I might even drop it just a bit lower. I'm gonna have a measure up of one and just see, because I might end up dropping it lower to about this close of it. So all I'm doing here is putting a coupling onto this. I'm gonna use this route or not. Yeah, I'm gonna probably use the street elbow. So if you like these long vlog type videos, this is just basically a day in the life of what I do every day. I do a bit of everything. Say I'm getting the plumbing finished. I might do this over 2 days. Tomorrow I'll be doing the insulation on the ceiling. We'll see how much footage I get today and how long I actually make this video. So what I'm doing is make sure it's going all the way around. I'm pretty confident it has. Just get some flux, clean this off. You don't have to. Just makes it look neat enough. All done. You can get a wet rag to it afterwards if you want to. Actually, not so you don't want to solid. Oh, that didn't specifically work, did it? Okay, so as you would have seen, by the video, the pot I just shown you. We want to see here. Cables all in the way. You can see I've pulled the pipe back. Start. You can see I was going to do a solder joint. Just push it. If this is used, I've never had a problem when I've used push fit in the past. As long as you use it right, you know. If anything, you've got to use them right. I've never had a problem with using speed fit. I do use Hex as well, but you didn't have a lot of things in stock in screw fit to Hex as well. There's screw fit to Merlin. I had to go with John Best, but that is what it is. Solder is there. So I'm gonna have to go get a straight from the merchants across the road. Otherwise, this is on. Yeah, it's a miracle. But as I said, I'm gonna drill for him just now. Fortunately. So if you bend it wrong, that piece is scrap. I've done it before. I've not done it yet here, but touch wood. But people do have mistakes. We are all human. We all do make mistakes. Yeah, I've bent it so it just comes curved up and through, and it's going to connect onto this elbow. This T comes straight across elbow that way. T back to here. 22 comes in. It's going to T into that, and it's going to finish there. And that's the flow. I'll have a return done. Then, depending if I picked up the, so it's gonna be the flow. I think it doesn't matter what way they go. They're all TOBs, but I've not decided. No, I can decide when I connect it up to the boiler. Then I'm gonna come across with these two, pick up that one, and this radiator, same again. It's very tight for space because you don't want these cables touching these pipes. It will burn over time. And I've still got to get the fire alarm cable across. He wants these two 6mm running to the fuse board. So I've got a limited amount of space. Up here is very, very tight, as you can see. So I'm going to put some pipe insulation around this. Move this pipe out of the way and this cable out of the way. I'll wrap some tape around that as well, just in case it does touch. But I'm going to put insulation on the pipe and I'll put some tape around that just in case. Future proofing that. And then when I insulate it, I'll show you what I'll do, but I'll have to cut the insulation, push it around, then push this cable up. Otherwise that cable will be touching it. We don't want that, but I will put insulation on the best I can. But yeah, it's very tight for space. I mean, I would love to run the pipes underneath, but it can't just be a dream. But because it's concrete underneath and then you've got the insulation, it's not like you can just lift this floor up and have all the pipes to your access, because once it's all tiled and laminated, you know, it's not floorboards. You've got to cut a fucking square out and you've got to rip the whole floor up so you can get to your pipes if there is a leak. So flat is just not an option, unfortunately. So this is the only way of running them up. Same as the cables, I had to run them all up. Otherwise there would be more space here, so I wouldn't have to run all the sockets up, so there would be more space. But where there's a problem, there's always a solution. So yeah, I'm going to bring 222 through there and then the 215s for the water. So we're looking very tight, but we'll do it. We will do it. Yeah. So I'll show you once we've got the hot and cold in and the 222s on some work on the outside, how I'm bringing them in. You don't want to see any more of this because it's all just boring and repeat. Just flow return, all connected T together. Obviously the flow is T together, then the return is T together. And then when I come to pressure testing, I'll link two of these together, which you will see, and then cap all the rest off and put the pressure tester on the inside. But yeah. So I've sorted this one, this one, this one. I'm not going for the neatest in the world, but well, I'm bothered about it. If it doesn't leak, it doesn't leak. Which I'm pretty sure, looking at them, they're not going to leak, they're going to be fine. But before I insulate the roof, I'm going to test the pipes. And you'll see how I'm going to test them. I'm going to fill them up and I'm going to test them. With a dry pressure test, which you may have seen before, but that's what I pressure tested. I had to notch that out because it's not an easy notching, but as I said, these are just to keep these straight. There's nothing structural about these, otherwise it was touching the ceiling. And then I've got enough room there, and I'm going to notch that one out, go straight through. Then on this side, I'm going to tee that way because I need to pick up this radiator. So I need to make sure I'm not going to touch any of the pipes. I need to make sure when I put the cabinets on, I'm not going to come straight through the pipes, because that will be the worst nightmare to ever happen. So, saying that, once I've picked up these pipes, I'm going to drill through, pick up these pipes. Then these ones are going to connect to the 222 that's going to come in. And then I'll reduce them using a reducer to 82 to 15. And then the rest is done. There's so much going on in the ceiling, so I need to be so careful because I've got spotlights, I've got main cables coming in, I've got radiator pipes. I need to get the water pipes in. It's still hot and cold. Hot and cold for the shower, hot and cold for the sinks, cold for the toilet, hot and cold for this thing. Need to get cold for this. There's so much hard work. I need to be so careful when doing this, making sure I'm not going to damage anything on the way. So I'm going to be running these pipes now across to here. They're not going to touch any of the cables, and then I'm going to pick up that radiator there, and then I'm going to pick up that one. But what I want to show you is when you bend pipes, so I had to do a small offset bend to get in here. Very small, you can see it on camera, but when you do a bend you want to make sure still you can get that pipe fully in there, because there's no point if you can't get it fully in the fitting. So if you can't get it fully in the fitting, I know this goes fully into this fitting once it's set up there. So let me show you. If you see inside there, you can see the copper's pushed all the way up. If you bend it and you fit in your pipe doesn't fit all the way in, there's no point. Now I'll mark that so I know when it's fully in. I'll make sure it's fully in up there. So I'm just getting these pipes in now. Ready, so there's either 600 or 700 going on here. I'm not deciding on the size yet, so I'll have to just put the pipes in back across. So I've come up. Now these aren't going to be where the brackets are. I'm not touching. Clipped. I've bent this one. It's not the straightest bend, but it'll do. Otherwise it would be touching that. Then we'll go up, across, and then across to this one. Now I've not got the pipes in the building yet for the heating, so I'm just going to bring all these up. And when I bring the 222s in, I'll make the roots and start soldering some pipe. That line is not nowhere near the straightest, but it's going to do the job. I don't claim to be the best, but you know, it does the job. That's all I'm bothered about, is it does the job. No one's going to see it, but yeah, it's not the straightest, but So as you can see, all my fittings are pushed in properly. I know these ones are pushed in properly because I felt it. And I know this one's pushed in properly because of where I marked it. This is the only one that I was worried about not being pushed in enough. But they're all pushed in and fit right. I'm going to solder this and we'll pull it away from the wood so I don't burn the wood. And then I'm going to solder this one. I can't show you because I don't have a tripod. But once I get a tripod, it should be here at some point today. I'll set it up and I'll show you. It's very easy. As I said, I'm going to pick up that radiator, and then they're going to go into the 222s when I get them in. So, I'm now pressure testing it. I wouldn't do what I've done specifically because this is for dry test only, no water. So I wouldn't do what I've done here and actually put water into it, but as you can see, the water is very slowly running at very low pressure, but it's going up slowly. It's just going to take its time, but I've been around and checked all the leaks. I'll go check in about half an hour. As you can see, it has moved. It's just going up to 2 bars now, so I'll let you know when it's on 3.